I am deeply thankful to each of you for taking the time to engage with my journey. Your willingness to listen fills me with gratitude, and I sincerely hope my story resonates, offering solace or guidance to anyone grappling with similar trials. Years ago, a pivotal moment reshaped my existence, and after witnessing countless personal narratives shared across digital spaces, I felt an urge to contribute my own, aspiring to light the way for others enduring the sting of disloyalty. For nearly 20 years, my former partner and I built a life together before our roads parted. Prior to our union, I devoted myself to firefighting, a calling I embraced at 17 with a parental waiver, carrying forward a legacy as a fourth-generation firefighter. Over time, I rose to battalion chief but later chose the role of rescue captain, where my skills and certifications thrived. One Christmas Eve, my team was summoned to a raging fire at an apartment complex, with 18 residents unaccounted for. As we initiated rescue efforts, we found a young couple and their partner in one unit. Amid the turmoil, a young woman, seated with paramedics, wailed incessantly, "My baby, my baby!" While a colleague replaced my oxygen tank, her anguished cries seized my focus. I approached, inquiring if she referred to a child, a pet, or something else, but she could only repeat, "My baby." Without pause, I re-entered the inferno to search for her infant. Soon after, I emerged, clutching a baby in my arms. As I staggered toward safety, a sudden blast shook the building, hurling debris. A jagged piece of wood lodged deeply into my back. I reached the triage zone, passed the infant to safety, and collapsed. Medics found the splinter protruding from my chest, inches from my heart. Airlifted to a trauma center, I faded in and out of consciousness twice before urgent surgery preserved my life. The shard had grazed my heart, leaving me teetering on the edge of death. My team notified my spouse of the crisis, but she brushed it off as a ploy for attention, insisting she had more urgent matters than visiting me. The hospital held me for a month, stabilizing me before I returned to our remote home, 60 miles from the nearest major medical facility. Upon release, I begged my wife to drive me home, but she declined, claiming she was too busy. A fellow firefighter graciously stepped in, ensuring I wasn't alone. When we arrived, we spotted her minivan in the driveway and searched the house for her. Opening our bedroom door, my legs gave way at the sight. My crewmate steadied me, asking if I was okay. Inside, my wife was entwined with 3 men, one beneath her, another behind, and a third at her lips. The scene stunned me, especially since she had always refused such intimacy with me, citing unease or fear of injury. My friend swiftly guided me out, then returned to collect my clothes. He drove me to another colleague's home, where we grappled with the shattering discovery. Later, he confided that he had recorded the scene on his phone without their knowledge, capturing their unapologetic continuation. Within days, bolstered by my friend's support, I hired a lawyer and initiated divorce proceedings. Fortunately, our children were adults, sparing them the pain of a custody dispute. In court, I discovered my wife had shared her inheritance with nearly everyone in our circle except me. She openly admitted viewing me as a mere financial provider, confessing she wished I'd die on duty to collect a $1 million life insurance policy tied to my career. Looking back, I recalled her early warmth and sincerity, but her demeanor changed after her mother briefly lived with us. We transformed a small outbuilding into a cottage for her mother to grant us space. But that shift marked the start of my wife's transformation. She stopped working, leaving me to manage double shifts and a second job to support her, our 2 children, her mother, and myself. My exhausting schedule, 48 hours on, 24 off, instead of the usual 24 on, 48 off, blinded me to her infidelity's red flags. After the betrayal, we sold our home, split our shared assets, and divided the proceeds. My firefighting crew became my anchor, providing steadfast support as I fought to rebuild my career. My aim was to serve 35 years and retire, but obstacles emerged. After passing my reentry exams, the fire chief called me in, offering 2 stark choices: retire at 30 years with full pension and benefits, or accept medical retirement with half. Despite my exam success, my age, injury history, and new diagnoses of PTSD and bipolar disorder deemed me a liability to the insurance company. Heartbroken, I chose retirement, left the region, and turned to animal rescue to fill my days. Living in an RV trailer and operating a sanctuary, I struggled to find work, though I didn't need to financially. I vowed to avoid relationships, except with my sister, a fellow firefighter, and withdrew from social life for years, convinced trust was irreparable. Years later, I joined a massively multiplayer online role-playing game and met a woman. We forged a profound connection, eventually sharing phone numbers. After 18 months, she suggested meeting, playfully assuring me she wasn't a scammer, as no one would invest this long in a con. Her wit pierced my defenses, sparking laughter I hadn't felt in years. Despite our 20-year age difference, distinct racial backgrounds, and the judgmental climate of my conservative rural town, I agreed to meet. It was a life-altering moment. She embodied values I treasured, placing family above career or wealth, mirroring my upbringing. Though she initially viewed a woman's role as supporting her husband, I respected her perspective, but stressed that family comes first for everyone, regardless of gender. Ironically, having lost my father in the Vietnam War, I found myself married to a Vietnamese woman, expecting our first child in November 2021. The betrayal I endured was agonizing, perhaps the darkest chapter of my life. To those facing similar heartache, know that it's not the end. Not everyone is the same, and healing is within reach. Take time for yourself, seek professional support, and rediscover your resilience. Something brighter lies ahead, and your strength will guide you forward. Never contemplate giving up. Your ability to forge a better life resides within you. I am immensely grateful to you, my audience, for embracing my story with open hearts. Your support fuels my hope that these words might uplift or inspire someone in need.